Hi, here it is, Thursday morning again. Good morning. It's always so funny when we get here. Weeks go by way fast. It's really good to be here. It's good to see you all out there in Facebook land and in LinkedIn land, and just on the waves, on the airwaves. I don't know. It must be just old. Anyway, it's great to see you. Today, we're going to talk about power partners. What are they? How do you find them? Nurture mutually beneficial relationships with them. How do you make it work for you? If you're here with us live, as always, say hi. You know how much I hate having a conversation by myself. If you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching it. And it's always nice for me to know that you have been here. If you want the notes for the conversation, put the word notes below. It takes about a week, but then I will actually send them directly to you in your inbox. And if you want the notes and you forget to write notes, they go up on my blog on my website about a week and a half later. Okay, cool. Okay, power partners. So, you're busy. We're all busy. Building your business, expanding your vision, supporting your team and your clients. But who do you have standing in your corner? Do you have people that are amplifying your voice, sharing your work, magnifying the impact that you have on the world? You may have heard the term power partner bandied about, but do you actually know what it means? And do you know how to create these deep, long-term, mutually beneficial relationships? So the first thing is, let's talk about what power partners actually are. So on the surface, power partners are other business owners, just like you, that serve, and just like your business, that serve the same clientele as you, but with a different service or product from a different angle. For some business owners, power partners are really only referral partners, and they count on each other to pass referrals back and forth. And that's their relationship. For others, it's more like an affiliate relationship where there's a monetary exchange for a referral. And for even others, it's more than that. It's really more like a celebration and acknowledgement of the work that you do in the world. And it's like you have your power partners are out there with a megaphone shouting and raving about how great you are. And all these setups are great, and there's so much opportunity, probably more opportunity than you're seeing in the relationships that you have with your potential power partners or power partners that you haven't even met yet. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to find people who will connect with you and work with you as a power partner. So the first thing that's really important is, and it always comes back to this, right? The first thing that's really important is you have to be clear about who your ideal client is, the problem that you solve, and the solution that you offer. The clearer you are about you and your business and what your business provides your clients, the easier always it is to do almost anything, but it certainly is easier to find power partners. You want to be really clear about your clients in the way that you know not only that they're looking for you or that they can use your solution, but what are their needs? What are their wants? What do they spend time thinking about? These are really important because there are other people who fulfill those needs and wants, and that they're out there looking for not even solutions, but thought partners or ideas. Those are people who can be your power partners on the other side, who your clients are looking to. Another way to find power partners is to actually ask your clients. I'm a huge proponent of going to the source. I'm always saying, so have you asked your clients? Have you surveyed your clients and asked them about that question? But really, ask your clients, who else are they working with? Whose work do they admire? What are some other needs that they have been thinking about finding a solution for recently? Um, your clients are the best source of their own needs, desires, and challenges. 100%. So ask them. There are networking groups out there that are designed specifically to create power partner type relationships where you're passing referrals back and forth. And for some, those really, really work really well. BNI is one. I think that Latip is another, right? Those are the kinds of networking situations that are specifically set up and designed for this, to create this kind of relationship. LinkedIn, social media is a great place to look for people like this. Or just in your own head, really thinking about putting yourself in your client's shoes or in your ideal client's shoes and asking yourself, well, who would I be talking to? Who would I be spending money with? What would I be reading? Those things will lead you to other businesses that are serving your client in whatever way they are. Okay, so there are, we're going to talk about the relationships and how once you find people, how do you create the relationships with them? And one of the things that's really important to remember is that there are different levels of relationships with people like power partners, just like there are different levels of relationships with your friends. You have some people that are acquaintances, you have some people that are, through your work, but you're not really connected. You just know them enough to say hello. And then there are others who are your besties, like your ride and die people. When things are happening, when you need a shoulder to cry on, or when you have something really exciting that you want to share, these are the people that you go to. And when it comes to power partner relationships, all those different levels or depths of relationship are available when it comes to power partners. So for me, I belonged to a BNI group once, which was really great. I really enjoyed it. And I actually got quite a bit of business at a time when my business was not doing so well. It had fallen by the wayside. And so I started going to this BNI group where it was part of the promise that you made when you joined the group to bring referrals for other people in the group. And as such, you would get referrals too. That is the premise. And for me, it worked. It was great. But those relationships were very much about those referrals. And it was very surface. I was just actually talking to a healer that I go to on a regular basis, who belonged to one of those groups for many, many years, like, I don't know, 6 years, and just recently decided to stop because it was taking up so much of her time, and she didn't really wasn't getting as many referrals as she was. But she had been deeply in relationship with these people for 5 years. She found, though, that when she stopped going, that those relationships almost immediately fell by the wayside. And so that's that like first level of power partner. Then, the friends. So you may have, and I hope you have, business besties in the world, people who you really admire their work, they admire your work. Maybe you've taken one of their, taken a course from them or bought their product, and you respect the quality of what they provide and what they deliver, and it excites you, and so you tell other people about it, right? So, and that they tell other people about you. But it's more than just a passing thing. You've actually taken the time to get to know each other, and your relationship is more than just passing referrals back and forth. There's more to it. There's real friendship there. And then I find that there's one that's even deeper than that. And I'm going to have to say that those are actual past clients, people who have worked with you, done, seen really the benefit of the work specifically that you do in their business, in their life. And they are raving fans, absolutely raving fans. And they spend, like they do whatever to tell people about you. As soon as they hear somebody talking about something that clearly is a challenge that you have a solution for, they're going to tell them because they love the work that you do, right? I have a couple of those in my life who for really up to 7. So I celebrate 9 years in business as a strategist and coach on May 13th. So I've been in business 9 years. My longest term client, the one that I still have now, is I've been working with her for 8 years. And then I've got clients who I knew before I started this business in other business that have been with me for my ride and dies. They're awesome. And they send people to me and refer people to me all the time. Whenever they meet somebody that it seems like a good fit, they're like, you should call Dana. And we have dinner together. We go to shows together. We've gone on trips together, right? Like it's more than, it's a different kind, a much deeper kind of a relationship that creates that kind of a power partnership. So at the kernel of what a power partner is about is that word partnership, where it has to be, it's mutually beneficial. But for me, for it to just be transactional has never like really worked for me. So like some people offer a referral fee for if you refer them, or you like an affiliate fee or referral fee, and bless them, like that works for them. It doesn't work for me. I've never been able to, I don't feel good about taking referral fees or about giving money to people to have them tell other people about me, because it's not about, I'm if you know me at all, you know that relationships don't work for me if they're just on a transactional level. Like, ick. I just don't like that, right? For me, it's much more important to have trust, to build respect, to truly enjoy each other's company and the work that you do. My level of decision about whether or not I'm going to refer somebody to somebody else is, would I send them to help my mother? Would I send them to help my best friend? Would I be able to look my best friend in the eye the next day after I had sent this person to go work with them, right? And all the way from construction on their house to deep coaching to therapy to relationship work to marketing to yesterday I was referring CFOs, right? Like, so I have to be really clear in my heart that I would send I trust this person so much that I would send them to work for my mother. And I don't want money for that. I don't want money for that, because that's about my heart. It's not about transactions. But for some people, it works best to keep it on a totally transactional level. And that might be for you, which is fine, right? Like, you have to do what works for you. In my case, to build these kinds of power partnership relationships, it takes time, because there is absolutely no, what's the right word? No substitute when you're building a relationship to spending time together. It takes time to build trust. It takes time to build respect. It takes effort to do those things. And so for me, my power partner relationships have been built over years. But when I first started, I started simply with people who I had served, who really loved the work that I did. But then I also, I work with business owners who are at this point in their ownership journey where they're past the startup phase. They are making money, the money's coming in, and they want to get bigger. So either they want to sell their business, or they want to start another business, or they just want to have less uh, time. They want their life, right? And so they're looking for ways to get out of daily operations. So they've been in business for a while. And so when they become my clients, I often find out who are the other people that they spend money with, who did they like, who really made a difference for them, because they've had a long time to be in business. They've had experience with a lot of different kinds of business owners. And so I start there, and we'll reach out to people who seem like we'd be a good fit. We think the same, or we have similar ways of thinking about business, about life. Maybe we like the same kinds of things. Maybe we like to read. And the people around me who've known me for a while, who know me, also send me power partners, right? So that's another way of finding them. And the relationship simply starts with a cup of coffee. Booking or scheduling time to sit across from somebody and just chat. And even now, I do it on, via Zoom. I'm starting to go out and meet people again at coffee shops just to get to know them. And some people, we sit and we have a really pleasant conversation, but it's clear it's not going to go anywhere after that. And that's fine. And then there are others where we have a conversation and it just kind of goes bing, bing, bing. And right. And it's exciting and it's fun. And you find out more about them than just their business. You find out who they are, and you click. And then you think, oh, this is a person I want to get to know better. This is a person who I could see sending people to. This is a person that I could see might be interested in sending some people my way as well. And that together we can grow together and invest in each other's success as a team. And that's really what power partnership is about. It's about being a team. It's about trusting and believing in each other, in each other's wisdom, in each other's expertise, in each other's integrity, and wanting to put more of that, wanting to put more of them in the world, right? Power partnership is really about focusing on the other person. If you go after creating these kinds of relationships from a place of it's all about me, it's never going to work. I mean, I say this a lot about a lot of different things, but when you reduce a relationship to a tactic, you feel it. It's icky. It's icky. And it doesn't flow, and good energy and good things don't spring from it. But if you really go to create a relationship from a place of connection, from a place of really getting to know the other person and feeling that click, right? Like, oh, we're on the same page. Like, oh, you're so interesting. I love the way you think. Like, that is the basis for both real friendship and power partnership. So anyway. So, okay. So when, most of us, when we think about business growth strategies and growing our client base, and we think about marketing, we think about lead generation, we think about social media campaigns. But what we don't often think about, because it's uncomfortable, is we don't often think about really what I call going back to the basics, which is all about networking and relationship building. When you do think about networking, oftentimes you cringe because you don't want to be thought of as a creeper, right? Who builds transactional relationships for personal gain. So you really want to think about how it is that you approach people, and how it is that you have the conversations that result in a relationship, rather than this icky transactional thing that happens between so many people. And that way is to really look into, well, how did I create friendships? My husband's about to walk in and interrupt our live to pick up the printing. Here he comes. The printer is in my office. So oftentimes I'll be whatever. And he he does that. So, okay. So the thing that I always love about power partnership in the end is how do you show your appreciation? Because when people are sharing about you truly from their heart, yes, of course you can send them money. And for some people, that's enough. For me, I want it to be more than just money. I actually want it to mean something to them personally. So oftentimes I will actually use a woman in town who, what she does is she gathers really cool things together to that are made in Oregon, because here I am, from other business owners that follow like either a theme that I give her, or I say, this is what this person really likes. And she'll find things and she'll put them in a package and she'll send them to her, or she'll even drop them off at somebody's house. Because, many of the people that I have relationships with live in Portland. So, but I am going to tell you the story. When I was, my coaching business was only about 2 or 3 years old. Maybe it was just 2 years old. I went on this retreat in Mexico, and you show up to this retreat and they put you in a room with a roommate. And I had the most amazing good fortune that day. I was paired up with this amazing woman, Kimberly, and she has been a coach for decades. She was one of the people that started the standards for coaching and training coaches. And we just hit it off. We spent 4 days living in a room together, and we just laughed the whole time because we were so much alike. It was insane. And we had these deep conversations into the night. You know how you do with your girlfriends when you're having a sleepover? The light would be off and we'd be like jabber, 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 jabber. And one night she was telling me about how she deals with power partners. Now, she coaches really, really high level entrepreneurs, really big business owners, CEOs of some of the biggest companies that, roll off your tongue. And she was talking to me about how she appreciates her power partners. She's got 5 of them that she has worked with and developed these relationships over the last 10, 15 years that live all over the country. And she doesn't have the same kind of ability to refer to their businesses as they do to refer to her. So sending them referrals is not a way that works for her. So instead, once a year, she goes out to wherever it is that they live, and she takes them out for this amazing meal where the 2 of them catch up on the past year. She finds out what all the things that have been happening in their lives. She talks to them about their friends, their relationships, the things that they're hoping to do over the next few years, any new skills that they've learned, everything, just catching up as much as they can. And then over the period of the next year, when they send her a referral that results in an actual contract, she responds by sending them something that they really, really want, that it's likely that they wouldn't spend for themselves. So she has sent an entire family to Disney World for 3 days. She's sent sports tickets and those kinds of sports events that everybody wants to go to, like I'm not a sports person. What's the name of the thing? The playoffs. Like she will do things like that. She will send, she just knows what they want and will send them the thing that either just they want, their whole family wants, something that they will enjoy, that is usually more of an experience than an actual thing. And she explained to me that it makes people feel so acknowledged and so appreciated because she takes the time to really get to know who they are and what they want, rather than just cutting a check and sending it to them. which, if that's what they needed, she would do that. If that's what they wanted, she would do that. But this is more of creating a memory over time. And I've never forgotten that conversation that we had in the middle of the night, because it impacted me so much. And it is so clearly meshed with how I feel about relationships and how I show up for my friends and how my friends show up for me, both whether we are friends in our personal lives or whether we're friends around business. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's really how creating power partners is a long-term proposition that starts the same way any relationship starts, with just getting to know each other, dating, right? And then deepening that relationship, really thinking about what the other person wants. How can you support the other person? All coming from a place of being committed to see them succeed. If you make it about you, it just doesn't work. So I hope this was helpful. If it is, let me know. So glad to provide these things for you. If there's something specific that you would really like me to talk about that I haven't talked about yet, let me know. Yeah, and have a great weekend and a great week. See ya.